Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class on Wednesday morning. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. So today we are going to read from third canto, chapter 8 and chapter 18, text number 1 and 2. So the title of the chapter is The Battle Between Lord Boar and the Demon Hiranyaksha. Maitreya Vacha Tattevam Akarnya Jalesha Bhashitam Mahamanastad Vijnaya Dhurmata Harer Vititva Gatimanga Naradat Rasatalam Nirvivesa Tavarana Vittaha. Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya, Vacha said, that, Evam, thus, Akarnaya, hearing, Jala Isha, of the controller of water, Varuna, Basitam, words, Mahamana, proud, Tad, those words, Vigannaya, having paid little heed to, Durmata, vain glorious, Hare, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Viditva, having learned, Gatim, the whereabouts, Anga, oh dear Vidura, Naradat, from Narada, Rasatalam, to the depths of the ocean, Nirvivese, entered, Twara Anvitaha, with a great speed. Translation. Maitreya continued, the proud and falsely glorious Daitya paid little heed to the words of Varuna. Oh dear Vidura, he learned from Narada the whereabouts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and hurriedly betook himself to the depth of the ocean. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Materialistic warmongers are not even afraid to fight with their mightiest enemy, the personality of Godhead. The demon was very encouraged to learn from Varuna that there was one fighter who could actually combat him. And he was very enthusiastic to search out the Supreme Personality of Godhead just to give him a fight, even though it was predicted by Varuna that by fighting with Vishnu, he could become prey for dogs, jackals, and vultures. Since demonic persons are less intelligent, they dare to fight with Vishnu, who is known as Ajita, or one who has never been conquered. Text 2. Dadarsa tatra bijam vijitam dharadharam Purniyamanabanim agradham shraya musnantam akshana swarucho aruna shriya. Jahas chaho vana gochara mriga. Synonyms. Dadarsha. He saw Tatra there. Abhijitam, the victorious. Dara, the earth. Dharam, bearing. Proniyamana, being raised upward. Avanim, the earth. Agradamshraya, by the tips of his tusk. Musnantam, who was diminishing. Akshna, with his eyes. Swarucha, Hiranyaksha's own splendor. Aruna, reddish. Shriya, radiant. Jahasa, he laughed. Cha, and Aho, oh, Vanagochara, amphibious, Mriga, beast. Translation. He saw there the all-powerful personality of Godhead in his boar incarnation, bearing the earth upwards on the ends of his tusk, and robbing him of his splendor with his reddish eyes. The demon laughed, "O an amphibious beast!" Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In a previous chapter, we have discussed the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead as Varaha boar, the boar. While Varaha with his tusk engaged in uplifting the submerged earth from the depth of waters, the great demon Hiranyaksha met him and challenged him, calling him a beast. Demons cannot understand the incarnations of the Lord. They think that his incarnation as a fish or a boar or tortoise or big beast only. They misunderstand the body of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead even in his human form, and they deride his descent. In the Chaitanya Sampradaya, there is sometimes a demonic misconception about the descent of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu's body is spiritual, but the demonic person consider the body of the Supreme Personality to be material, just like ours. Avajanti ma mudaha. Persons who have no intelligence deride the transcendental form of the Lord as material. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tadamayam Tadati Swapatantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshadharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jnananandamaya Devam Nirmalaspatikakritam Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmaye. Good morning, devotees. So, thank you for joining the Srimad Bhagavatam session today. So, we will be talking about these two verses from Canto 3, Chapter 18, 1 and 2. And the title of the thing is Lord Varaha meeting Hiranyaksha meeting Lord Varaha in his boar form. So, here Maitreya Muni is saying, we learned from the previous chapter about Hiranyaksha, and Hiranyaksha was informed, I'm very specifically saying the word informed, by Varuna about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the capable person to combat with Hiranyaksha. And And from that information, Hiranyaksha is very eager to meet Lord Vishnu. And he is in search of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. So he went into the depth of the ocean. So here, once here he is receiving information. The reason why I say information is it's not an instruction or from Varuna, or on the other end, it is not on a humble spirit of listening or in a good intentions from the receiver side, which is Hiranyaksha. So just an information, and there is no transformation. So there is no transformation or opening of a heart or the genuine interest to really understand and glorify, because Hiranyaksha is from the demonic side. So he is only searching for a combat person who can give him a good fight, a good toughness. So that is where he is to prove that he is better. His intentions are towards ill, and that's why he is not in the interest. There's no transformation because he's less intelligent, and he has decided to fight with Lord Vishnu. And here Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Vishnu is known as Ajita, one who cannot be conquered, who has never been conquered. So it's just doing a self-evaluation and him thinking himself to be the best, and ignoring the importance in military science, which is evaluating the strength of his enemies. And Hiranyaksha is failing. It is because he is intoxicated by his own power, his own combative strength. So that is where here he is not paying attention about the Lord Vishnu on the other side. And on the second verse, okay, after his thing, now he is seeing Lord Vishnu face to face, and he is seeing Lord Varaha in the boar form with a tusk, engage in uplifting the submerged earth from the depths of the water. And this great Hiranyaksha is seeing that scene, and he is challenging him and just calling him as beast, calling Mahavishnu in the Varaha form as you are just a beast. That is an absolute representation of ignorance. So this is where our Acharya says that intelligence blocks mercy. So even if Mahavishnu or the Supreme Personality of a Godhead who come in front of us, if we don't have the right intelligence, the right spirit of a hearing and understanding who the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, and with a humble and service-oriented mood, we don't know who is who. We may end up, and the tendency of the intelligence popping up and really blocks the mercy. Here in this case, the person Hiranyaksha from the demonic Chaitya uh, family, he is not in a position to see the Lord Varaha, who is rising the mother earth on his tusk. He just sees him, you are just a beast. You are just an amphibious beast who is capable of living both in water and land. What a big deal about it. And he started laughing. So the Mahavishnu has taken a lot of incarnation like a fish, boar, tortoise, human, and they only see the externalities. They don't see the purpose behind it. Here in the case of Lord Varaha, who is who has purposefully taken this form because the mother earth was abducted and taken deep into the ocean, and it's a very filthy place to go and do all those things, and boar is the suitable form to go into that place deep under and rescue the Mother Earth. So there are a lot of purpose behind it, and he doesn't understand anything, and he just see the externality. Oh, you're just a beast. What sort of a um, demonic and ignorance that is being proved by Hiranyaksha when he sees the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, even though his intention was to combat, but laughing at him is very ill-minded. Here it says like Nityananda Prabhu is also been chastised by the Mudas who have no knowledge about him just by seeing the material thing that is perceivable to them, and they just comment. So our Acharyas talk a lot about the root cause of our sufferings is because of our ignorance. And here the ignorance is manifesting a lot in Hiranyaksha's case, and that is why he is laughing by seeing the Lord Varaha as you laughing out loud as you are just a beast. You are no worth for me. So that is his intention, and he's doing like that. So we have learned in Srimad Bhagavatam earlier that the Lord is the seer of all worlds, both spiritual and material. So the tendencies are common to all of us, and it manifests. In order to be conscious, God conscious or Krishna consciousness, the Lord has to see us. Only then we can override those tendencies and we can be subordinate. Otherwise, one or two tendencies will be popping out, and it has even been manifested for exalted devotees, knowingly or unknowingly. So what to speak of us? So the importance, the false ego, that whatever I see, I want to enjoy, has to be curtailed. That can be possible only when the Lord sees us. So our Acharya says that we go to see the Lord, but act in such a way that Lord sees you. That's a very important point, that we have to try, engage in such a way that we can be of some service to the Acharyas, so that the Lord, who is more interested in those senior Acharyas, can also see us. So we have to act in a way that the Lord see us, so that the false ego tendency gradually goes away and our ignorance can be removed. So that is very important in our transcendental growth. Otherwise, the tendency that keeps coming up, the demonic tendency that is there for every person, and that pops up because whatever I survey, I want to enjoy it, manifest. It doesn't need that we have to be born in a Daitya family or a Brahmana family. It doesn't matter. The quality of the teachings and the practice of the teaching. So the principle of learn, accept, and preach is very important for us to practice. So we have to learn from the knowledge which is being given in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Vedic wisdom is being taught to us, and we have to accept and adapt to that principle, and then we have to preach. So just call a small acronym called LAP: learn, accept, and preach. So that way it will be the achar and prachar can be manifested in our practice, and we can do to our capabilities. Otherwise, the false ego tendency manifests here and there, or most of the times, depending upon our strength of our devotion, and will put us into such an embarrassing activities like here, like Hiranyaksha, challenging and laughing out loud when seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Varaha is such a wonderful incarnation he has taken the responsibility to rescue the Mother Earth, who was hijacked and who is in the deepest place, and he is going there to rescue. In our normal life, if you, I have been visited, I had visited from my young days to a temple called Thiruvidandai, which is in the suburb of Chennai, India. It's a 108 Divya Desam, the 108 Vaishnava Divya Desam. So, in that place, he removes the obstacles of people who are suffering from not getting married. Marriage is not that easy activity that, okay, I decide to marriage and it's not that easy. So there were a lot of obstacles, and he removes those obstacles. And people go there to that place, and when they go and do a parikrama in the temple, and many people, they first go and do parikrama and worship, and then again after the marriage they have to come as husband and wife wearing a garland that is being offered to Lord Varaha, and they have to do again a parikrama. So when they do this, you can see how so many people with garland, which means even in this Kali Yuga, Lord Varaha, so mercy is being manifested, and many people's obstacles in terms of marriage are removed. Lord Varaha is also worshipped for any construction. When we do any construction, we do a Varaha Puja. We have witnessed even in our Naperville temple, like we have done a Bhuvaraha Puja, and he removes those obstacles. He is such a merciful and very, very capable personality, has taken the purpose of that form to defeat the Hiranyaksha, and without knowing the competency of the opponent, laughing out something loud is such a heinous act that should not be done. Even from our practice, we are not all Hiranyaksha, but at times we try to underestimate our others, and we become judgmental in our nature when we talk something nonsense. So these are the tendencies of a demonic activities that manifest. So we can take the instructions, and we can take how this has been how the demonic person's manifestation by deriding with no intelligence, deriding the transcendental purpose in this in these two verses. So thank you very much. If I have missed anything, or if I have said something wrong, please excuse me, and let's use the remaining time for any discussions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. We shared many good points. So I was just thinking, I mean, when he came back from Varuna Dev, so does he understand after seeing the both incarnation that he is the Lord Vishnu?
I mean, the answer is yes and no, Prabhu. Like in the further verses, he says that he paid a little attention, and that's why he's interested in meeting. And he's also like he has glorified whatever he spoke, he has glorified. That is the mercy of our Lord Varaha Dev. He called him Gochara Mriga. He is a Mriga. He is an animal. Okay, and he also called something I have to see, like so whatever he says, it's true, but intentions were not correct. The words something like he's puffed up. The activities are puffed up, but he also he paid attention to Varuna. That is why he is interested in meeting the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. But the intention is not towards favorable service; is more towards a combative spirit. Come and challenge me. So that's where his intentions are.
Hmm. Thank you, Prabhu. So I was just thinking, you mentioned, I forgot to note the sentence. He said, false is pride, right? How is,
Yes, yes.
what that sentence he said? I was just laughing. I thought I'll take note of it. It's a representation of his pride or something like that, he said. He is a
Yeah, Prabhu,
representation of his pride.
the tendency, the false ego tendency that I am all I survey, I want to enjoy it. And I'm the
Yeah,
boss. No, I'm not the boss, I'm the boss.
that's true.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I mean, of course, effort and mercy, right? So both are
Yes,
required. So
Prabhu.
when the Lord doesn't want to show, then of course we will not be able to see him, right? So the devotee doesn't want to give the mercy, we will not be able to get. We, we want, even we can put our effort, but effort is necessary in both. That's what you were saying. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah, effort and mercy. And the good thing that we learned from Srila Prabhupada and our Acharyas is the right intelligence is to shut up. If you don't know anything, just keep your mouth zipped, so you are rescued, rather than doing something like this in a situation without knowing the what is happening. And that is happening a lot in our congregation also, right? People try to talk a lot, put a lot of stuffs without knowing what is happening, without any context, without any. So those can be avoided by just zipping the mouth.
Mm.
That's the perfect balance and use of writing our using our intelligence. And Srila Prabhupada says that a fool cannot be identified unless he's open his mouth.
Yes.
So how much practical examples, contemporary examples Srila Prabhupada has given from the Shastras, and how many lessons that can be learned and applied in our life. Wonderful, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you
Please
for the enlivening class that you gave. You touched upon many points. One thing that struck me was, Narada Muni is the one who gives Hiranya, Hiranyaksha the directions to find the Lord. So essentially, whether it's a devotee or it's a non-devotee, but if the goal is the Lord, then the Acharya has to be there. That's what I took from there. I just leave it to you for more comments.
I mean, that is true, Prabhu. I mean, like, the spiritual master shows the path, and as Lakshmi Kanta Prabhu said, effort and mercy endeavor from our side, and intention. So the instructions and we has to be received so that it transforms our heart. If it is just a information without any transformation, it's not touching the heart and it is not manifesting the love. So love is a key ingredient here. If all are aligned, then everything is perfect. We can receive. Otherwise, once we receive only a filtered message, we will not be in a position to accept the goal. We get distracted. I'm just talking when I say we, it's about me, that I get distracted when he says the Naperville temple is right over there, I get distracted by Walgreens or something right over there. So I'm not reaching the right milestone with the right purpose. So Acharya, yes, no, the teachings of the Acharya has to be taken as a life and soul, and has to be worked out with the right intentions all the time, bro. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you for bringing up the importance of course, you said many things. And sometimes, of course, if you see Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti, Hare Krishna Mahamantra includes everything, all the incarnations and everything. But specifically for an event, some of the incarnations are glorified. Similarly, you said that how Varaha is been worshipped for that particular instance of foundation puja,
Correct.
Bhumi puja.
Uh-huh.
So somebody can say, oh, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is there, everything is there. Of course it is there. But we give importance for the specific event, for a specific incarnation. That's what I was thinking. And one more thing, this you also mentioned about Nitya Kalyana
Nitya Kalyana
Perumal.
Perumal.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nitya Kalyana Perumal. I have only read many stories of, I can say, stories of our history of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, this is, this happened. But I practically, two of my niece were not getting married for years. I took them, and then they both got married to the Nitya Kalyana Perumal. It's very powerful, as you mentioned. And then it is practical. I can say it's very practical that I would have chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra as well for them as well, but it did not happen. So, but I went there to remove that obstacles. Only he can remove the obstacles. So that I think highlighting that is very important. Sometimes we say, hey, it's not okay. Chant Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's Hare. I agree, but even if you look at the Sudarshana chakra, why are they installing Sudarshan chakra on the top of Mayapur temple, right? In many temples, we don't even have, of course, our temple, I don't know, but otherwise there was no question of Sudarshan chakra, right? So that is important. Specifically, there are certain things important for a certain event, and they're glorified. In fact, our Guru Maharaj, his Holiness Japatak Maharaj, has ailments, a lot of ailments going on right now. So one of the astrologers, they're shown, now normally ISKCON will say, hey, no astrologer, why are you going to astrologer, right? My Guru Maharaj, they've seen an astrologer, and astrologer insisted to chant the Dhanvantari mantra for his health.
Correct.
And all the disciples are chanting the Dhanvantari mantra for his ailments. So I was thinking about, you see how for a Dhanvantari Ayurveda, right? Ayurveda came from Dhanvantari.
Correct.
So in that way, Guru Maharaj, so many disciples are actually chanting the mantra of Narsingadev, which is Narsinga Kavacha, and they're also chanting the mantra of Dhanvantari. So there are specific things we need to definitely do it. That's my take on this.
Yes, Prabhu, that's correct. I mean, you are covered upon the principle and the actions. So the principle, what I learned from a spiritual master is the principle is Krishna. Hare Krishna, the holy name contains everything.
Yeah.
But we may not have adequate time, energy. So in that aspect, if we just take the principle that is for, so if we go into details like Dhanvantari and all those things, that may not be affordable for everyone. So from the principle perspective, if we just chant Hare Krishna and we do that, that is good enough. If affordance and is possible, that's nothing wrong in worshipping. Like as you said, the Nitya Kalyana Perumal in Thiruvidandai, he is sitting with Bhudevi, the Mother Earth, on his lap.
Yeah.
He is facing the ocean because it is on the east ECR, which is the East Coast Road. It's opposite to the ocean. Okay.
Yes.
And he is enjoying and he is fulfilling the obstacles in marriage. And people, like, it is not that I am saying it or someone who is known to me is saying that. The crowd and how many people are coming and thanking him is a manifestation of a Lord even provides the mercy in the Kali Yuga to people. And his one and only interest is come back to Godhead. And speaking about come back to Godhead, in our recent Holy Holiness Prabhupada Swami Maharaj's visit to Nepal, he mentioned very clearly it's just a transformation of a consciousness, right? It's not nothing changed. It's just a transformation of consciousness from a false ego consciousness from boss to das. So in a simple transformation, so it's a boss to das. So that simple thing itself will move and try to, if we just take that boss to das transformation and if we try to do something, there is a possibility of the Lord to see us. One
Yeah.
step towards him, he moves towards us 100 steps closer to us.
Yeah. In fact, once His Holiness Japadak Maharaj came to Chicago, 2008, I believe,
Mhm.
he was mentioning so many pastimes. And he also mentioned we should have Garuda Stamba in front of the temple. And we should have Sudarshan Chakra. I don't know whether he mentioned Sudarshan Chakra, but of course, Sudarshan Chakra we have seen in Mayapur and many other temples. And then specifically, he himself sent a message to all his disciples saying that astrologer has told so that I have to do. What was his intention? Of course, he is a pure devotee. He is a devotee, senior devotee, of course, what not. But he mentioned, I have to see the way he mentioned. I have to do, still there is a lot of service left for Srila Prabhupada. So please pray for, based on this astrologer, chant this mantra so that I can clear up these ailments and I can do service of Krishna.
Right.
That was his intention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Hare
Nothing
Krishna.
wrong about guided approach is very much required for all of us at all stages.
Yeah.
Guru Sadhu Shastra, someone has to explain and act accordingly, according to time, place, and circumstances. So we have Guru Sadhu Shastra and we also have time, place, circumstances. So the guided approach has to blend together, to otherwise it may not yield the right results and the right things. Thank you for
Yes,
being
sir.
here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right, I think it's 8:08 on a weekday. So thank you very much for your time and contributions in the discussions. I learned a lot from this discussion and from the two verses. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Varaha Lakshmi Varaha Swami ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.